Hello, my name is Jacob, and this is my review of the JOCRF, Johnson O'Connor Research Foundation. What is the JOCRF? The JOCRF is a non-profit educational research organization that helps people figure out what they're good at via aptitude tests so that they may more intelligently choose between different career fields as well as disciplines of study that naturally utilize their talents. Basically, you pay a bunch of money, take a bunch of tests, get a bunch of results, as well as some suggestions on careers and fields of study that utilize your aptitudes. Could you explain the context under which you took this test so that I may more fully understand the situation? Sure. I was in my third year of computer science at my college and realized that it wasn't what I wanted to do professionally. I wasn't particularly good at it and felt like I was swimming upstream. I was lost and confused and didn't know what field of study or career I should focus on next. I was like a drunk, homeless, schizophrenic man in a neighborhood that he'd never been before. I jumped online to search away my problems and somehow found out about the JOCRF, but I couldn't find many reviews and I was somewhat skeptical. But I decided finally, fuck it, let's do it. Is this aptitude test a scam? In my experience, the JOCRF was not a scam. It seemed legitimate. It had an actual office, some plants, and other office paraphernalia. I can understand this concern, as people looking for tests like these are likely lost and confused, like a drunk, schizophrenic homeless man in a neighborhood that he's never been before. Like him, these lost and confused people could be easily manipulated, as there's not much info online. I'm from the UK, right? And I can sniff a personality and IQ test from a mile away. Is the JOCRF just another one of these self-perception tests? In my experience, no. The JOCRF did not have any self-perception questions. Instead, all there is just a series of timed tasks that try to measure how good you are at something, not how smart you are. So in that essence, you can't really fail. Here's an example of an aptitude they measure. Pitch identification. How well can you identify the different pitches in sounds? I scored really low. Does this mean that I'm stupid? Probably not. Does this mean that I should be a vocal coach for singers? I think you know the answer to that. Right, so what can you actually expect when you go take one of these tests? First, you set an appointment and then go to one of their locations in a major city. Then once you arrive, you meet a task administrator who takes you through the battery of aptitude tests. How should I prepare to do my best on this test? I'm trying to get the best score possible and I don't want anybody to beat me. You can't study for this test as it measures your aptitudes. The main thing is to get a good night's rest and don't be too sick, hungover, or stoned when you do it. Don't worry about studying because you can't. And make sure you know English. What do they test again? They test aptitudes, or as they say, natural talents and abilities for doing or learning things. Aptitude in this definition is an innate ability. As stated by the JOCRF, these aptitudes are fairly constant throughout one's life, whereas personality can change based on mood and life experiences, as well as knowledge, which is acquired over time. So, what aptitudes does the test actually measure then? The first is graphoria, clerical speed. Next, we have ideaphoria, which is the speed at which you generate ideas. Foresight, the aptitude of seeing possibilities. Inductive reasoning, can you quickly identify common elements among different concepts? Analytical reasoning, ability to organize concepts logically. And then you have numerical aptitudes, such as being able to see patterns in a series of numbers, as well as your memory for numbers. Next, the JOCRF measures spatial aptitudes, which is your ability to think in 3D. Next, we have auditory aptitudes, such as tonal memory, which is being able to remember the sequence of tones. Pitch discrimination, can you distinguish between different frequencies, as well as rhythm memory, can you remember different beats? Continuing, you have an aptitude called silograms, which is your word learning ability, useful for foreign languages and memorizing words. Next, the JOCRF measures color discrimination. Continuing, you have tests for finger dexterity, tweezer dexterity, grip strength, as well as left-right-handedness, all of which are useful in surgery, dentistry, and makeup. Lastly, the test measures your personality via word association and wraps up by looking at your English and mathematical vocabularies. Then, when you're done taking all these tests, you go home and come back on another day where the administrator goes over your results. I'll admit it, you've piqued my curiosity. What were your results? My results were mostly in line with my undergraduate experience. They hand you a sheet like this that lists your aptitude, your score, as well as a percentile. This percentile is standardized relative to others in your age group. It's not the individual scores that matter, but your overall aptitude pattern, how they work in tandem. My results indicate that I have a subjective personality, meaning that I enjoy work of an individual nature, that uses a rapid flow of ideas thanks to my high ideaphoria, as well as utilizing my rhythm memory and large English vocabulary. Potential fields for me to look into include journalism, advertising, marketing, as well as teaching. For me, my biggest revelation was my low spatial ability, which was in line with my experience as I had struggled in engineering. This was interesting because what got me into engineering in the first place was my skill at troubleshooting computers in high school. I now look back and see that my troubleshooting abilities were due to my high ideaphoria, meaning that I was able to just toss out a shitload of ideas into why your computer may be fucked up. How did you utilize these results to directly improve your life? Well, I decided to stop pursuing engineering and dive into something more media related, where I can use my ideas. I also decided to make YouTube videos, weird ones, like this, in my spare time. If you're watching this in high school or college, congratulations. You have the freedom to easily choose what you want to do with your life because you're still very young. Now, if you're watching this as an adult and you're trying to improve your working situation, there's 3 things you can do. First, you can stay in your current job and make small changes. Maybe you can incorporate it as a hobby or an outside outlet. And lastly, you can go off in a completely new direction thanks to the insights gained from this testing. This may be difficult, as your interests may not line exactly with your aptitudes. Say you want to be a surgeon, but you have shit finger dexterity. Look at why you want to be a surgeon, and translate that desire to help people by cutting them open into being a Craigslist masseuse, where finger dexterity isn't as crucial. No more beating around the bush, right? How much does the JOCRF actually cost in terms of quid? The JOCRF is affordable for most anybody and everybody, as long as they're in an upper middle class environment and have disposable income as well as time. It costs around $700, and I personally felt that it could have been around $300 to $400. To all the JOCRF administrators and executives watching this video, please help me understand why the test is so expensive. I'm not sure what your cost structure is as an organization, but you are behind the times digitally, as there are lots of printouts. The career guides aren't really up to date either, and the office spaces weren't super snazzy, so I'm not sure where the $700 is going, but if you would like to give me a cut of it for making this video, please reach out to me via YouTube comment. Now, $700 is a lot of money, but if you compare it to college tuition, beer costs for a year in college, as well as those ridiculously expensive textbooks that you have to purchase, $700 may not be that much. So put it in perspective and give it a fair shake by coming on over and signing up for the JOCRF so that I hopefully may get a cut for being their spokesperson. But mate, you are not a paid spokesperson. In fact, you are an unpaid spokesperson trying to become a paid spokesperson by wearing underwear on your head. Do you really think that they are going to make you a spokesperson now? I sure hope so. Fortune favors the bold. So I figured, wear some underwear on my head. That's enough. Was it worth it? Was this damn test worth it for you? Personally, for me, it was. Back in 2012, I did not know shit about what I was good at. And I also like learning about myself with these geeky self-improvement type aptitude tests. The big reason why was that it gave me some peace of mind at that time in life when I was lost and confused, like a drunk, homeless, schizophrenic man walking around a neighborhood that he's very unfamiliar with. Basically, the test allowed me to understand that engineering was not my career direction and that I'd make the correct decision by deciding to pursue another field. That's all well and good, but the question now for the viewers at home watching this video is, should they take a test like this? Should they take the JOCRF? I would say the answer to that, like most everything in life, is that it depends. If you're going into it looking for the JOCRF to magically tell you what to major in or choose as a career, you're going to be disappointed. But if you're going into it understanding that it's a tool to help you learn more about yourself and that it's ultimately up to you to prioritize your life around what your natural talents are, then I'd say the JOCRF is worth it. That being said, if you already know a lot about yourself, the JOCRF may not be that helpful. The easiest way to figure this out is to skim through the free PDF booklet online. The booklet goes over descriptions of the aptitudes, the tests involved, as well as stories by other folks who've gained insights from these tests. If any of the descriptions of the aptitudes resonate with you, then you may have found something that you're good at or bad at. If none of the descriptions of the aptitudes resonate with you, and you're still blank, taking the actual JOCRF aptitude test may be helpful. Alright, I've got to take my genuine UK accent back to the Northwestershire. I'll catch you later. Cool. I'll see you later. And to you, the viewer watching, I hope you gained some more insight from this video, and by now you probably associate JOCRF with underwear. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Links to the documents and more in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, share, whatever. Peace.